that flows into the next question. Who are the deities, and what does deity mean? You guys touched upon it, but just to be a little more.
Let me just jump in that. For deity, as I said in the introduction, the etymology or the derivation of deity comes from Dios, which is the Latin word for that we would call, I would choose to call spirit entities or principles. So I'm not challenged by the word deities, but I just want to be clear of if I say spirit and someone else says deity, that might clear it up. But I also want to mention that someone of a specific culture, of a specific area, might call a specific principle by a name I'm unfamiliar with. And I've used the term, tell me what that spirit does, and I'll tell you who the spirit is. I may not speak your language, I may not be familiar with your culture, but I will be familiar with the activities that are engendered in that spirit. So that's how I would answer that. So by name, they are principles, they are guides, they are those who are partners with I speak personally, but I'm sure without presumption I'm speaking for the elders as well. They are partners with the spirit person within me who happens to be animating this body right now. I am a spirit in this form that you are looking at.
I'm so glad you made it clear when you said the word partners. Yeah. I trembled for you because I didn't want the fatwa to be put on you because our brothers in Islam insist there are no partners with deity.
Okay. Well,
but you made yourself clear. You said within you.
Within me. And to them, I say, Assalamu alaikum. The principle does not change.
I say, wa alaikum hotel.
I do as well.
I'd like to veggie back on top of that. And it's clear, we're clear, deities, we're talking about principles and spirits. Okay. They fall into three major categories. There's celestial, that is the cosmological spirits or energies that's responsible for all creation and is still coming into being. I know some people's creator worked 6 days and rested, and ours have never stopped. It is still moving forward. The universe is still coming into being. Right, our universe don't have to rest. Okay, our creator. Okay. Then there are what we call those terrestrial natural. Those are the physical ones that may be governed like the planets, and specifically like the earth. And we already talked about the air, the water, Geb, the land, Nut, the atmosphere, the ozone layer. It's all Nut, right? She is responsible for looking over us. Without her, there is no life on this planet, okay? And then we call Duat, the natural root of the Duat. That is the natural root of transformation, the spirit world that will decide whether you come back. As Grandmaster Kham said, we are divine spiritual beings having a divine human experience. And notice that we use the word divine. We're having a divine human experience because we understand that we are in divine state, whether it's the spirit or we happen to be in this container we call the human body. Okay? And the natural root governs all of that, and we understand. That's why we all carry this ankh. There is no opposite of life. Life is eternal. The opposite of death is birth. So birth and death are cycles in life. So we understand we have always been here. We have witnessed to creation. So these Necharu talk about cosmology, they talk about the creation, they talk about our everyday existence. The Necharu is the breath of air that we take. It's the smile on your face. It's the blink in your eye, and yet it is the sun and the moon. And we understand that we couldn't begin to name all of the Necharu, but we want you to know that they fall into the spiritual, the celestial, and the duat.
Yet in the Pertem Ru, the book willfully misnomed the Egyptian Book of the Dead, in the chapter called The Divination of the Body Members, it shows that each of us each member of our body is ruled and governed by these divine forces. This is my faces of Ra, my eyes of Het Heru, my nose of Kenshits, my lips of Anpu, my teeth of Kepera, and on and on and on. So we identify even our very makeup with the divine principles. I would dare say, without being vain, that we are challenged to manifest the Neteru that live within us and express themselves through us.
Absolutely.
Especially coming into being here in Amenta, as Asarans coming into wakefulness as Heru. There's someone said that the highest aspiration is to become Asar. Well, that we will get to sooner or later, because every dead king was given the title, or queen given the title Asar. But the one who lived and sat on the throne and acted from the seed of Asar was Heru. And that's why all of us take on that title Heru, because we know, once you know your name is Heru, you know what your duty is and what your responsibility is to your divine father and your divine mother, who is the divine teachings of our ancestors. That's who our mother and father really is, not those who like to pretend to plagiarism that they came with some great new revelation. Actually, all they were doing was mimicking what our ancestors taught them in the lesser degrees.
And look at our names. It shows you the adoration that we have for the Neteru, because we act on their behalf. We are them. We manifest our life through them. So when I say Jehuti Masim was one who is born in the image of Jehuti, articulate thought, articulate speech, articulate action, articulate writing. Okay? And we must manifest that. But yet I'm Ka in Haru, in the spirit of Haru, because I understand all talk and no action is not going to get you nowhere. You know? So we live this. I think Grandmaster Kham opened up in his invocation talking about this is a way of life. This is not something we do on Sunday or Saturday or just put or holidays. We live the Neteru, these principles.
And it's NTO, no time off.
All right. Let me of course, chime in with everyone else. There is a responsibility at each